What's up, guys? It's Monday, December 15th, and it's another episode of the Muay Diaz Combat Pubcast. I just rewatched the entire main card for the UFC fight night that happened Saturday. I didn't get to watch it. My plans got shifted, so I watched the entire main card just now, and I just wanted to go over the recap real quick. So, the main event, number 2, Brandon Royval, bantamweight division, taking on number 6, Manel Kape. When I initially broke down this fight, I had picked Brandon Royval, but I didn't see the betting lines until literally a couple hours ago when I started watching the main card. Manel Kape was a huge favorite, like a minus 235, maybe more. This was an incredible fight, man. Manel Kape came out to show up and make his statement in the bantamweight division. It started out okay. Brandon Royval, I picked him to win because I thought he had fought the better strength of schedule. You know, 2 former world champions now under his belt with Joshua Van and Brandon Moreno, and then beating Tatsuro Taira in his UFC debut. Manel Kape was coming off 3 wins, but against guys that were very low ranked. But man, the betting odds gave Manel Kape, had him coming in as a favorite, and they were not wrong. I mean, Jesus Christ, I don't know what these guys know, but Manel Kape starches Brandon Royval 3 minutes, 18 seconds into the first round with a huge right hand. I mean, he closes the distance quick. I mean, early in the round, Brandon Royval landed some really good body kicks, was trying to stay long, add distance, but Manel Kape right away put Brandon Royval on the back foot, had him behind the black line in the octagon, even though they're in the apex, so it's a smaller octagon. But he put him on the back foot, had him skirting around the black line, and then he comes in, just blitzes in, lands a huge right hand. Gets Brandon Royval backing up, and then catches him with another right hand. And as Royval's going down, he misses with the left hand that would have put him spark out. But on the way down, Manel Kape is so fast, he clips him with another right hand on the way down. And then 3 big elbows. I mean, it was over before you knew it. I mean, Manel Kape, what a performance by him. He calls out the champion, Joshua Van. I think that's going to be a great fight. It just depends on what's happening with Alexandre Pantoja. I know he's already back training. As far as strength and conditioning, he's got mobility in the arm. He was the last video I saw, he was doing like rows, kettlebell rows with the arm that got dislocated, or whether it was elbow or his shoulder. I'm pretty sure it was his elbow, but he's already back in the training room. But Manel Kape, man, what a performance by him. Gets the knockout, 318 in the first round, like I said. Brandon Royval got up, kind of was trying to dispute the stoppage, but he was, I mean, that right hand he ate, he was out, and then he ate another one on the way down. Manel Kape, I didn't think it was a bad stoppage by Herb Dean. I thought it was a great stoppage by him, and Manel Kape gets the win. He's at number 6. I think he takes Brandon Royval's spot at number 2 now, and then we'll see where it goes from there. I mean, I don't know. I know he called out Joshua Van for the Houston card, but the Houston card, I believe, is already headlined by Sean Strickland and Fluffy Hernandez. So I don't know if the UFC will go as far as like bumping them down and then putting a title fight on a fight night card. I don't think that'll happen, but good call out by Manel Kape. I wouldn't be surprised if they put it on the next card coming out. I think that card is the Volkanovski-Lopez card. They'll probably string it out till like March. I could see that because you have the big cards starting off the year with Paddy the Baddy versus Justin Gaethje in January. And then you have the February card with Alexander Volkanovski versus Lopez. So I could see like a March card where it's Manel Kape and Joshua Van in like a co-main event probably. They should give him a main event slot. I love Joshua Van. He's action-packed. Manel Kape is action-packed. Man, that would be a great headliner, but you know how the UFC is with these lower weight classes, man. They always just put them down to like co-mains or stuff like that. But, I mean, we'll see how it goes. But it was a beautiful performance by Manel Kape over Brandon Royval. The co-main event was Giga Chikadze versus the Argentino. Let me see real quick. Yeah, Giga Chikadze versus Kevin Vallejos, but in Argentina you say Vallejos for whatever reason. That's just how they talk, man. Their Spanish is different than Mexican Spanish. But Giga Chikadze was a plus 295. Kevin Vallejos was minus 375. So that lets you know all you need to know with the Vegas odds. The first round was pretty good. Giga was landing some good big kicks, body kicks early. Kevin Vallejos threw a big low kick where Giga checked and split his shin open. Probably midway through the first round. And it was leaking bad. It was nasty. But the second round, Giga's still trying to do the same stuff. Stay at range, land big kicks. But Vallejos comes in. He kind of like blitzes in, clips him with a right hand, and backs up Giga to the fence. And then he gets Giga moving to his right. So he hits him with a right, backs him to the fence, throws another right, misses, but then already has the spinning back fist. It landed like on the forearm, but catches Giga. Oh my God, the sound of it sounded like a pitcher when the ball hits the catcher's mitt. That's what it sounded like. It was like had a thud. Catches Giga, drops him, and Giga's almost out. And then he pins his arm behind him. So he's got like both his arms behind his back because this one's on the ground behind him. This one, Vallejos pins it behind him and lands like 3 big elbows. I mean, it was bad. And Vallejos gets the win by TKO in the second round. Vallejos is a beast, man. Vallejos is a beast. He's like, I want to say that Bisping made the comparison and Senko like co-signed it. Like his build is like Ilya. He's very short, very stocky for the division. It was at 145 too, what the division that Ilya used to fight in. But he's stocky, keeps a high guard, very explosive, big power. It was a good fight by Kevin Vallejos and a good stoppage, man. It was a great co-main event. But I like Giga, but he was in over his head on this one. And I didn't know the betting odds until I was watching it. And he was plus 295. So Vallejos at minus 375. You got to go Vallejos on that one. And then the feature fight, Maquisal Costa versus, what's his name? Hold on, wait. Oh, yeah. Maquisal Costa versus Morgan Chermy. The French guy, the last pirate, took on the Brazilian guy, Maquisal Costa, the guy who has a Vigalato. Or is it Vigalato or Vigalato? I'm not sure. But, man, it was a head kick knockout. 3 minutes, 48 seconds in the first round. He puts Morgan Chermy against the fence and just throws a huge left head kick, which he actually ate on the glove, but it had so much force that it knocked him out. Put him out stiff. I mean, he was so stiff. It was an amazing kick. Amazing kick. Maquisal Costa beats Morgan Chermy by head kick. It was 3:48 in the first round. Man, that was a crazy performance because it didn't last long. It only lasted 1 minute, 12 seconds into the first round. So I actually skipped the feature for the other fight. It was, but Maquisal Costa beats Morgan Chermy, the Frenchman, the last pirate, and it was a nasty head kick KO. The feature fight was actually Cesar Almeida versus Cezary Oleńczyk from Poland, and it was kind of a grappling match. The Polish guy, Cezary Oleńczyk, just took him down and basically 30-27 all 3 rounds. Just kept control, and everybody was really hype on this guy. Even Lorisenko and Michael Bisping were saying that, you know, when you want to make your debut in the UFC, you want to do something big because he came off the Contender Series. But he really didn't take any chances. You know, he secured the takedowns in all 3 rounds, landed some big kicks, good scoops, like big double legs and scoop and slams. But he really didn't do a lot of like a damage. He just was just trying to control, which I understand. It's his debut. He wants to get a win in the promotion. I get it. But yeah, the Polish guy, Cesary Oleńczyk, cruises to a 30-27 on all 3 judges' scorecards and beats Cesar Almeida. The next fight, I really enjoyed this fight. It was Kennedy Nzechukwu from Dallas. It says he's fighting out of Dallas-Fort Worth, but he fights out of Fortis in Dallas under Saeed Saud, and he fought on the multiple-time Jiu-Jitsu world champion Marcos Buchecha Almeida. I really like Buchecha when it comes to Jiu-Jitsu, but he's just shown that his gas tank is not there. I think he got used to finishing guys early in ONE FC over in, where do they base that? Singapore. And, but Kennedy Nzechukwu did a great job of not accepting positions on the ground, fighting the hands, turning facing, using whizzers. I had Kennedy Nzechukwu winning the first round 10-9. He landed some big elbows. Buchecha landed a good single leg in there, but Kennedy fought his way back up, fought the hands. The second round, it was 4 minutes, 38 seconds in the first round, so 22 seconds in. And Buchecha eats an eye poke from Kennedy Nzechukwu, and they took a point. So automatically right there, it's 1 point away from Kennedy Nzechukwu. And but he did a great job of going in, turning facing. He landed big knees. Buchecha landed a big double leg takedown in this round, and he was trying to get to his back. He landed some good elbows at the end of the second round. He got to a mount position and was really trying to I think he was picking his shots too much because he was already looking gassed after the first round. And in the second round, he finally gets to a mount position, and instead of just really dropping elbows and landing big shots, he was picking his shots. And even Michael Bisping, I believe, said on the commentary that he needs to just open up. But Laura Sanko, she's like, I think he's worried about gassing himself out. And I think that was absolutely true. He didn't want to give too much from that mounted position where he thought he was going to run out of gas, which just shows that we're professionals. You're a professional now, right? You got to be able to go through at least 3 rounds. If you want to be a world champion, you have to go at least 3 rounds. I love Buchecha and everything he did in jiu-jitsu. He's one of the guys that I really loved watching when I was coming up through jiu-jitsu ranks. But his gas tank is shit. And he's lucky he got the eye poke in that round because that made an 8-10 round for him. And then the third round, he shot right away, right out of the bat, coming in to start the third round. And Kennedy Nzechukwu did a great job of defending. They went to the ground, but he was almost sitting on top of Buchecha for a majority of that round. He kept the high ankle pick on Buchecha and was landing big elbows from the top position because Buchecha was behind him on his back. He tried to scramble, and Nzechukwu did a really good job of making space and making him pay. He ends up going at the last minute. He reverses position and gets Buchecha down, and he lands big ground and pound to end the round. So I had the first round score 10-9 for Kennedy Nzechukwu, 8-10 for Buchecha in the second round because of the eye poke. And then I scored the third round 10-9 for Kennedy Nzechukwu, and it was a 28-28 on all 3 judges' scorecards because of the eye poke. So I thought Kennedy Nzechukwu fought a great fight. If it wouldn't have been for the eye poke, he would have won 29-28 on all 3 judges' scorecards, possibly 30-27. But the eye poke really, Herb Dean reluctantly took a point away in the second round because it wasn't intentional. But I've been saying this too. Every time there's an eye poke, you got to take a point. You have to take a point. And even before Herb Dean took the point and he was in front of Kennedy Nzechukwu, he said, you could hear him sigh. Like, he did not want to intervene in this fight. But with everything that happened after the Tom Aspinall fight and then the next week with the Walter Cortez Acosta fight, and they had all these meetings with the referees that they need to be more firm on the eye pokes. He took the point, and it still came out as a draw. I thought Kennedy Njoku won this fight easily, but with the eye poke and everything, and making it an 8-10 round, Buchecha is lucky to get out of here with a draw, because it's the whole jiu-jitsu thing, and I know from experience, and that my game is a lot different from a lot of guys that are my size who grapple. It's slow down, especially Buchecha coming from like a legitimate gi game where it's hold people down and work your technique. Whereas a guy like, say, Gordon Ryan, he's not even very explosive either. But from the no-gi game to the gi game is very different, very much different. My game is the same for the gi and the no-gi. I'm very explosive. I like to move a lot because I know I can outwork these guys in the gi and the no-gi. That's always been my game. And that's why I think my jiu-jitsu game transferred better to MMA than a lot of other guys who strictly were jiu-jitsu guys, because I boxed and did Muay Thai before I started doing jiu-jitsu, and I wrestled as well. So somebody coming from just pure jiu-jitsu, where it's a lot of like stealth action sometimes, where especially in the gi, where you're just holding position and waiting for a mistake to happen, you're not used to having those fast twitch muscles activating all the time. Whereas in MMA, you always have to have your fast twitch muscles activating. You know, you're fighting the hands, you're getting up, you're trying to explode. And Buchecha he needs to do something, because he's so good at what he does. But if he goes past the first round, he's like dog shit. Like, he's just not good, you know. And you have guys that like Islam and Habib who have been grappling their whole lives too, but they can go 5 rounds easy in the grappling. Like, that's their fallback to. Where Buchecha, if he doesn't get you out in the first round, he's just like there to be hit and there to get hurt. So he's lucky to come out of this one with a draw. But Kennedy Njoku, man, he fought an amazing fight. I thought he should have won, and he would have won if it wouldn't have been for the eye poke. So the main fight, the opening fight on the main card was Bobby King Green versus Lance Gibson Jr. Lance Gibson Jr.'s father, Lance Gibson Sr., actually fought at UFC 24 and UFC 29. But this was an interesting fight, man. King Green was fighting like one of the Diaz brothers. Like, he had his hands down the whole time and just kept walking forward with his shoulders, talking shit. I had him winning the first round 10-9. I had Lance Gibson Jr. winning the second round 9-10. He got hit low at 330 in the second round, but he came back. He had a big double leg takedown. He scooped him, slammed, had some good side control time. That's why I gave him the second round. The third round, Bobby King Green comes out, gets a takedown at 42 seconds, or takedown at 2:48 by Lance Gibson Jr. Bobby King Green does a great job of defending, getting back up to his feet, making space, making me punches, forcing the action, like walking. Like, he had the most control time in this fight than Lance Gibson Jr. had. Like, Lance Gibson Jr. landed some good shots, some good kicks, but Bobby King Green just kept walking him down, shoulders first, man. Even Senko and Bisping said that he looks like a Diaz brother. Just the way he was walking, he was talking shit the whole time, you know, hands down, countering, pushing the action. And then King Green got a takedown late at 42 seconds in the end of the round. Gets Gibson down. It stays on top and lands some big ground and pound from north-south position. And then at the last 15 or 10 seconds, he goes to a side mount position and lands big hammer fists, big elbows, and he gets the split decision win, 29-28 over Lance Gibson Jr. Lance Gibson Jr. was his first fight. It's a debut, and it was a short notice. So I know he'll improve, but King Green looked good tonight against, you know, somebody who's it's their debut, you know. So he's going to make rookie mistakes, and King Green capitalized on all those mistakes. But so yeah, then that's my little breakdown for the main card on the fight night event. I wish I could have done it earlier, live possibly, but it is what it is. Still got responsibilities. I gotta make sure the wifey's good. Happy wife, happy life, and but it is what it is. And that's my little breakdown for the UFC Fight Night card. I'm looking forward to next month. We have 6 weeks off, 5 weeks off now with no fights, which is gonna drive me absolutely fucking crazy because this is what I love to do, and I love to watch fights nonstop. But we're gonna have a couple of weeks off. So if there's anything you guys want me to cover, leave it in the comments. Any fights you want me to rewatch and break down, or anything you guys have to ask me, man, leave it in the comments, please, because the next couple of weeks are going to be kind of slow. But I will do my best to continue to bring content to you guys and just break down fights and, go over everything that's going on in MMA and boxing. So just let me know, guys. Thank you guys once again. Thank you guys once again for watching. Hit the like, hit the subscribe, hit the bell, and share with everyone that you know that loves boxing MMA. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace!